All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into the absolutely incredible story of Sundar Pichai, the guy who went from truly humble beginnings to leading one of the most influential, most powerful companies in the entire world. I mean, seriously, how does that even happen? It's a question that sounds like it's straight out of a movie, but it's 100% true. To really get the answer, we have to go all the way back to the very beginning of his journey, to a world that's about as far from Silicon Valley as you can possibly get.
Okay, part one, from Chennai to California. This is where the whole thing kicks off.
So just try to wrap your head around this for a second. The sheer scale of his transformation is hard to even process. He grew up in Chennai, India, sharing a two-room apartment with his whole family. No television, no car. And you know what was a huge deal? Waiting an entire year just to get a rotary phone. A year! And now? Well, now he leads a global tech giant that connects billions of us instantly. The gap between those two realities is it's immense. And then came the moment that changed absolutely everything. He got a scholarship to Stanford University. This was his ticket, his leap of faith into a whole new world. But it came at a massive cost for his family. His dad, who was not a wealthy man, had to take out a full year's salary just to pay for the plane ticket to America. Can you even imagine that? That kind of sacrifice, that incredible belief in your child's future. It's just amazing. All right, on to part two, the Google interview. His first step into the company that he would one day lead was, fittingly, almost as remarkable as his childhood. You gotta love this. One of the most important careers in modern tech started with a funny misunderstanding. So Pichai interviews at Google on April 1st, 2004, April Fool's Day, which just so happens to be the exact same day Google launched Gmail. So in the interview, they ask him, what do you think of Gmail? And Pichai, being totally honest, admitted he thought it was an April Fool's joke. I mean, a free email service with a gigabyte of storage? Back then, that sounded impossible. But they hired him anyway, for a pretty modest role, working on product management for the Google search toolbar. Okay, part three. This is where things get really interesting. Building the future, Chrome. This is the story of the project that completely defined his career, where he had to convince Google to build an entirely new gateway to the internet. You see, he saw a future that a lot of other people at Google, including the top brass, just didn't. At the time, Microsoft's Internet Explorer was everywhere, but let's be honest, it was slow and clunky. Pichai realized this wasn't just an annoyance, it was a huge strategic threat to Google. If people had a bad time searching the web, they might blame Google, search. So he pitched this radical idea. Google should build its own browser. The leadership, including CEO Eric Schmidt, was totally against it. They were afraid of starting a costly browser war with Microsoft. But Pichai? He just wouldn't let it go. He kept building his case, quietly and relentlessly, until he finally got the green light. And the result of that persistence was just staggering. Pichai's bet didn't just pay off, it fundamentally changed the internet. Today, Google Chrome isn't just a browser. It is the dominant browser with over 60% of the entire global market. That one vision, the one he fought for, reshaped how billions of people get online.
Okay, part four, the quiet climb to CEO. Chrome definitely put him on the map, but his rise to the very top wasn't about one single victory. It was really a masterclass in steady, impactful, and quiet leadership.
You can see his progression was just so methodical, so relentless. After the huge success of Chrome in 2008, he was trusted with more, and then more. In 2013, he takes over Android, only the world's largest mobile operating system. So now he's in charge of two of the most important platforms in all of technology. And his success there led him straight to becoming the CEO of Google in 2015, and then eventually CEO of its parent company, Alphabet, in 2019. Every single step was earned. And that was really the key, This quiet, collaborative, and deeply product-focused approach is what earned him the ultimate trust of Google's founders. He proved decisively that you don't have to be the loudest person in the room to have the biggest impact. So that brings us to our final section, part five, Pichai's inspiring lesson. What's the core principle we can actually take away from all this? What was the thing that drove him from that two-room apartment in Chennai to the CEO's office at Google? This quote, I think, just captures his philosophy perfectly. It's not about arrogance or being overconfident. It's about taking that feeling of insecurity, that little nagging voice that says things could be better, and using it as a drive for improvement. It's this constant, humble dissatisfaction that actually fuels innovation. So if we had to boil it all down, we could maybe call it the Pichai principle. It's not about seeking the spotlight. It's really about having a long-term vision, like seeing the need for a better browser when no one else did. It's about having the quiet dedication to push that vision forward, even against resistance. And most importantly, it's about a deep focus on building things that are genuinely useful, things that actually help other people. Pichai's story is just this incredible testament to the power of making a quiet, long-term bet on an idea you truly believe in. And it leaves all of us with a pretty powerful question to think about. On that thought, we'll conclude our explainer on the inspiring story of Sundar Pichai.